And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. There we go, you see it, you see it?
The first carry now for Jordan Howard. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 5 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Hey, gotta go, gotta go. Lock in, lock in.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. He leaves this one for Howard. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Trubisky on 1st down. He's going to float this one deep right side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He has just been a load for opposing offenses to account for now. 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take away all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And taken right at the 35. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. The dump off good for 8 there on 1st down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Hey, 18.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd.
Playing coverage here.
Trubisky will throw. And Robinson with a big catch. A Chicago 1st down to former Jag Allen Robinson on the catch from Trubisky.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Letting one go deep. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Not the best of plays there as a quarterback. You're right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember a coach of mine saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out of your pocket with your opposite hand while you're trying to run. You just can't do it.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll power his way up near the 25. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
1st down, Rivers. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll bring up a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Hey, Delta!
Off the play fake here, Rivers. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. A very solid gain of 27. A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations. So he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad. Not so bad at all. Remember, he's the son of a coach. And on that play, I think he made the old coach proud with that completion.
Hey, Delta!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. From the gun, Rivers. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. All things considered, a pretty good kick. Just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Dumps that off to his running back, Jordan Howard. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. In this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on first down. Gets it to Gordon. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Trubisky draw play, gives to Howard. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. third down. That's Lewis. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up first and goal now. Now it's Trubisky. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football. And
now Howard stripped. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. Now Trubisky, the quick slant caught. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field. Definitely
a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And now out comes Minnesota. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time? Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
23 yards on the play. A give. This is Cook. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Throwing, Rivers. Forced out to his left. And he slides to avoid the hit. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. From the gun, Rivers, and he's able to find Diggs. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The 13 yards that time of the first.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. that makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Here we go. All right.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Operating from the gun, Rivers. And this is going to be incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. Second and 10, it's Trubisky again. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Left side, Cook. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It was the linebacker Leonard Floyd on the stop.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Go orange. Orange.
From the gun, Rivers. His throw caught at about the 5. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. As they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Operating from the gun, Rivers. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Everson Griffin in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. The Bears on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Final play of the half. It's Trubisky finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Rivers now from the 50. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
Rivers. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
Let's go.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Rivers from the gun on 3rd down. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. In for the score. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
That's fielded in the end zone. And an alley to run.
It's the 3rd quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard. And while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. They go play action here on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
This is Howard on second down. Howard has the first down and then some. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Bears have cut it to within a score. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. Fielded about a yard deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
Rivers now. Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On first, they go right back to Howard. Oh, now he bowls him over. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Hey, we all know it's turned into a passing league in the NFL, but that doesn't mean people still don't like to run the football. When you run it that successfully, your offensive line is fired up. What they want to do each and every game is run block. Get out and smack some people. I would say go ahead and run it again.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Here's another 1st and goal, but from a little further back this time following the penalty. Now it's Trubisky. And now he'll tuck it and run. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's able to find some room as they get him down after a good run. A nice run there, 8 yards, moves him much closer to the goal line now for 3rd down. The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. They come out here in the eye. On 3rd down, it's Lewis. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Dion Lewis, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. Fielded about a yard deep. And a terrific return up to midfield. Now the question, will it stand? There is a marker down. So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? No legal block in the back. That penalty will move them back.
Rivers now to throw on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
A second down throw for Rivers. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Caught out left side by Robinson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. They'll run it now out of the gun. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Now a second down throw for Rivers. This is caught by Robinson. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here's Rivers. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Akeem Hicks. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Working out of the gun, Rivers. Left side caught by Diggs. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
Hey, Delta!
From the gun, Rivers. Dancing to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
The kick by Carlson is good. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with Howard, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Gordon. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
They run with Howard, and he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. From the shotgun is Trubisky. He leaves this one for Howard. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Man, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down. A nice safe throw and a good one.
They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. Trubisky now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. 2nd and 10 now. It's Trubisky. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers. 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Well, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Go orange.
From the gun, Rivers. And that is incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Well, they may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. Trubisky now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Trubisky will throw. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? He's to the 10. And did he get in? No. Down at the 1-yard line. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They come out here in the eye. Trubisky keeps it himself, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Mitchell Trubisky scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Bears are an extra point away from taking the lead in this game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. He's back to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Cook following the penalty. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
Touchdown, Vikings! As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. What a game this has turned out to be, and what a touchdown right there.
How about when scheme and talent match up? Because they absolutely had to have that when they had to find their way into the end zone to take the lead. They get it to their wide receiver. He gets that done for them. And now they get to look at their defense and say, guys, make it stand up.
Now, that's the only way it would have been more ideal is if you put it in the end zone with 1 second or 0 seconds on the clock, but beggars can't be choosers.
Not at all. And whose heart wants to deal with that anyway? Go ahead and score while you've got the opportunity.
Here's Rivers. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
18. 180.
They'll look to throw. And this is incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there. And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on. And a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears? I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It can be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Cook able to escape. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Let's go.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete, and now second down. Rivers here to throw. Steps away to his left. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there, because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open, just a split second too late on the release. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. Carlson able to put this one through, and that'll push the lead up to 8. Now, from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Onto the field now come the Bears. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Lock in, lock in.
He'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Back to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions. They're giving him nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now he's got to make sure that that frustration is temporary, not lingering. Big throw coming up.
Back to throw. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here.
Hey! Set! 380! 40-45. Check, check. Here we go.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for Minnesota, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Chicago, the perfect season was apparently not meant to be as they drop to 7-1. And they'll take this loss into the bye as they'll be back in action in Week 10. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.